absolute honor to be a part of this stage today. And on the other side of the fence, I'm absolutely honored to welcome the person, the human being that we all have watched for years on the big screen and have loved him all throughout. Ashish Vidyarthi, National Award winner. He's worked across 11 languages, more than 200 films. I mean, who does that? But not just that, there is a specific reason that he's here again is because yes, hello, Mr. Vidyarthi. So he is not just a performing artist, but an entrepreneur himself. He's co-founded an organization called Avid Minor, where they impact organizations at large. And he's a mentor, he's a coach, he's a prolific speaker, as we all know. We've always loved that voice that is of Ashish Vidyarthi. So here he is. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the NASSCOM Product Connect.
Namaskar. I don't know if I'm seen.
Yes, you are seen.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. I can't see myself. All right. So fair enough. So that's interesting. So I can't see myself, but I guess I'm seen somewhere. All right. So thank you, Sonia. Happy to be here.
Welcome, sir. It's an absolute honor, like I said. And my first question is the question that's always been on my mind. You're an actor, you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're an entrepreneur. I
Mhm.
mean, ho kya? Who you really are?
So Sonia, it's an interesting one. I keep getting asked that question, and it's been a while. And just to quickly tell you, years back, I saw this Tata Steel ad which said that we also make steel. हम इस्पात भी बनाते हैं. And that really opened up a possibility saying that I need not be only one thing which they say I am.
Hmm.
And I, I've, I am a whole lot of alsos. I'm an actor and also a traveler, also a speaker, also a father, also a son, also a photographer, blogger. And imagine, I really imagine a world where each one of us can really connect to the alsos in us, because those alsos allow us to live many lives in one life. And if you're greedy like me, then you really want to do many things. And there will be many a times that you will be changing your mind and saying that, hey, listen, I also want to try that. And as we move our way through life, I've always discovered that at each moment there's been something which has been incredulous, and I've been like wowed by that. And I could see that I could get into it and keep moving. So also is a whole lot of me. So I'm also that and this.
This and that and this and that. But is it normal for many people? Like, is it normal for entrepreneurs also to be like this? Also, is
Yeah,
it true for
yeah.
them?
Just imagine. And see, entrepreneurship is a bit like the DNA. For example, I'm a human being, and that's in my DNA. And then also, I can do many things.
Hmm.
In the very same way, being an entrepreneur is something very DNA-ish. Now, with that DNA in place, uh, you can be creating opportunities. What is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is creating opportunities, putting in money, taking a risk, and creating opportunities out of a myriad of things. And therefore the term the serial entrepreneur comes in. When we realize that this entrepreneur is in this entrepreneurship at this point,
Hmm.
and and could keep moving. In fact, it does keep moving. So let's not get surprised, let's not get bracketed as this entrepreneur and that entrepreneur. Can we be an entrepreneur? Can we be a human being who's kind of moving and in movement? As we move in life, we have to stay relevant, and that's the that's the honor of living. When you're relevant, you're not just a fossil.
Hmm.
You're not a has-been who,
Yeah.
who had some use. You're
Yeah.
somebody who's ongoingly contributing and creating,
Yeah.
and and sticking your neck out.
All the time in
Yes.
most uncomfortable places.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I mean, you've been on different paths altogether, but entrepreneurship is not something that everybody goes for. Like being an artist is not something that everybody goes in. I
Yeah.
was wondering, I mean, in the myriad of things that one does, can we be born again to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, sure. In fact, born again for anything. See, for me, the joy is that, do I need to die? Do I need to actually
Hmm.
die for me to be born again to do something? Will my life be filled with things that oh, if only I could have? So,
Yeah.
here is something. I do a very interesting workshop on this, and I'll just take you through a bit of this. So
Uh-huh.
consider, and all of us who are listening in, you participate in this, and it could be a small 5 minute thing to share this
Yeah.
with you.
Sure.
Try to create telescope it into 5 minutes. So
Uh-huh.
consider, all of us here, we have certain expertise, right?
Yeah.
So there you have certain expertise. Each person watching has some expertise, and we
Yeah.
are known for that, right? That's why we are here. Um, Now, just for this moment, if we can just keep that expertise aside, that expertise, that experience, everything, just keep it aside, all right?
Okay.
So
Done.
now you, me, all of us are nothing, just this, all right?
Hmm.
Nobody even knows us
Hmm.
now. Just with this, with no background, we don't know who we are. You don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. Just bereft of everything. Imagine one thing which is available to you and me is the ability to dream. Dream
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
dream vast, dream beyond anything that you have done. Now, just look at this. All of us want to do something exciting in life, right? All of
Yeah.
us. Be clear
Absolutely.
about it.
Yeah.
Now, exciting, if you notice, is very far from where we are.
Hmm.
Exciting is something beyond. Exciting is, like, how can I? And for me, dream is that. Dream is that thought which brings a silly look to your face. And if somebody asks you, what are you thinking? You say, um, n- nothing. Did you get the mail? I sent you a message.
Yeah.
It is so foolish. It is so idiotic that you can't state it. And that is the dream that I talk about. When I say when you are bereft of expertise, bereft of all experience, when you can think and dream afresh. And once you think that dream, which is vast, which is expansive, it is not planning, it is not strategy, it is not something that you can see, it is something wide and beyond. And once you dream that, all right, once you have dreamed that, now think right now at this very moment, if you can
Hmm.
dream of something really big, really vast, far beyond what you have ever done up till now, that dream which brings a silly smile to your face, now hold that dream.
Hmm.
All right, hold that dream, that unimaginable thing that you have thought that would be amazing if you do. All right,
Uh,
now we call it the E-dope exercise. All right, so E
okay.
is the expertise, we have put it aside. D is the dreams you have dreamt. Now I want you to observe the reality of what the world wants, of that amazing dream that you saw.
Hmm.
Observe, what does the world really want at this point? Okay, and also start observing what is it that you have at this moment to create that dream. If you notice, there is a vast distance
Yeah.
between the dream and your capabilities that you have observed. All right, now
Mm-hmm.
comes the interesting part. Imagine the world is also possibly not ready for that dream of yours. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah.
ready. They have things which are close to it, but they aren't totally ready.
Hmm.
This is the powerful part. That is where we get to push our own abilities and push the world towards us. This is where you shift the consciousness of how the world is thinking, and you also shift your possibilities, your abilities, your capabilities. That's when you create collaborations. That's when
Hmm.
people come together and say, hey, listen, I can't do it, but I think there is somebody else who can. And together we can create something which is really vast. And that's when we come to the final part, which is the E, which I call the experience. For
Mm-hmm.
me, each dream, when it's turned into a living experience, that's when an entrepreneurship really gets successful. It has to begin with a dream. It has to be bereft of all the things that you have done in the past. And therefore, once you can turn that dream or a part of that dream into an experience, that's when something extraordinary gets created.
Oh man. Hmm. I just actually went, I don't know about the future, but I actually went back into the past into a dream that I'd actually like seen so big in my life, and I'd actually quite forgotten about it up until this moment. Thank you so much. I just got revived for me. Wow.
So what I've shared right now is a telescopic moment. It's an entire workshop. But
Hmm.
essentially, what we really want to get, Sonia, is that entrepreneurship is about putting your passion into your dream and turning into reality. All right, turning it into something which people can buy into.
Hmm.
And therefore it better be big. It better be beyond what is already there. All
Yeah.
right. Or it creates an experience which is very different from what people are expecting. Creating that unexpected is what entrepreneurship is about. That's what creates a buy-in. That's what people get pulled by. Ooh, what was that?
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
And that's what excites me. When we can engage in such conversations which excite people.
Wow. Wow. So Ashish, I mean, as an entrepreneur, and like in any avatar that we are, there are certain notions that we all have. You know, there's certain understanding. And entrepreneur ऐसा होता है, leader ऐसा होता है, ये ऐसा होता है, वैसा होता है. And because you have worn so many different, varied kind of hats, I'm just curious to know that what are those atypical things about entrepreneurship, you know, which is I mean, which is not something that you've learned being an entrepreneur. You've already beaten done that वो, you know,
Yeah.
पुराने किसी अवतार में आप पहले देख चुके थे वो.
See, if entrepreneurship is about turning possibilities into reality,
Hmm.
imagine if you are unbounded, if you're not bound by what people say, what people think. All right. You
Hmm.
see, I'll give you a very interesting example.
Yeah.
So when I became an actor some years back, all right,
Yeah.
it was what 20, 27, 8 years back when I
Yeah.
became a professional actor. At that point, being an actor was not considered quite a profession.
Hmm.
Nowadays, acting is considered a profession,
Yeah.
but that time it wasn't. So it
Yeah.
was like you're doing some alternate stuff, man. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to do acting? Oh, really? Acting? Yeah, yeah. But what do you want to do? So
Hmm.
it's like questions like that, and then you become an actor.
Hmm.
So imagine acting at one point was an alternative thing, all right?
Yeah.
Now imagine at this point, if you're an actor,
Mm-hmm.
if I, start also working with organizations as a motivational speaker, as creating interventions for people, creating, being a coach for them. Imagine what someone says, you're an actor, right? So
Yeah.
imagine that, which was considered open, which was considered alternate, still says, hey, listen, now you are me. Don't try to be somebody else.
Hmm.
That's what happens if imagine if you're an entrepreneur and you say only I'm only this entrepreneur. Hello, you're talking about the DNA. The DNA is that of an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
And therefore, if the DNA is that, it can take many shapes, sizes. And therefore, for me, the unlimitedness that the
Hmm.
human being brings to the
Hmm.
world, unlimitlessness, that is the same unlimitlessness that entrepreneurship also brings. And for me, when at conclaves that like this is a band of entrepreneurs getting together.
Yeah.
When you're raising the collective consciousness, you see, Sonia, we are in a world where there are a lot of naysayers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find many of them because I don't spend my time around them. I I gravitate towards people who are saying, "Hey, let's create something interesting." And then imagine your idea is very different from my idea, is very different from somebody else's idea, but the three of us are saying that something different is possible. So what we are doing is we're increasing the buoyancy of ideas.
Hmm.
It's not that I understand your idea. For example, your entire thing of match my talent, I probably don't understand it totally. But you know what? I'm there with you saying that, you're trying something interesting. You're trying something which isn't there. Guess
Hmm.
what am I doing? I'm also trying something which isn't there. So we together, when we have gathering like this, like NASSCOM has organized in this case, what's
Yeah.
interesting is that we are increasing the collective conscience into
Yeah.
into believing that this collective consciousness can raise and create possibility conversations far beyond what you and I can individually do. So each one of us is the wind beneath the collective sail. So we are all rising and
Yeah.
saying that let's create a can conversation. And so
And
this is not a NASCOM, it's a NASCAN conversation for me.
that's a good word. But
Yeah,
really, I really, NASSCOM is definitely that organization, exactly the way you define it. It's like it's the wind beneath all the dreamers' wings. It has been that. But NASCAN is great. I hope
could
everybody's
be
listening
interesting.
to
Yeah,
that.
I just
Yeah,
thought about it.
NASSCOM, NASCAN. Lovely. I've often heard you speak about like you use different terms into articulating your thoughts. I've often heard you saying speaking into disbelief.
Yeah.
What does that look like for a leader? Can a leader be spoken into disbelief?
Yeah, the leader does speak into disbelief. Because imagine if the leader isn't there, the rest are in a herd, okay, and they're
Okay.
moving in a particular way, they're moving in a particular direction, or they
Huh.
are moving in a particular way.
Yeah.
And that's when the leader stands out
Hmm.
and says something which people say, well, sorry,
हाँ क्या बोला आपने?
hello, what did you say?
हाँ.
That's that disbelief that the leader speaks into. The leader is not speaking into and do and this could be done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not speaking into that. Not
Yeah.
speaking into agreement. Now, when you speak into agreement, you're not being a leader. You're just collecting sycophants. But when you're truly a leader, you're really creating something where people think, oh, oh, what was that? It was
Hmm.
that dead disbelief, and you're attracting people into stepping into, venturing into a place which they have otherwise not believed in. For me, Sonia, one of the critical things that's available to human beings
Mm-hmm.
is to step into the new, step into the afresh. Now, this is a leadership conversation. This
Yeah.
is not a conversation of doing like. This is
True.
not like. No, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, listen, I've thought of this. What's the idea? Uh-huh. Interesting. That's the point where the
Hmm.
leader gets the capacity. Now, one of the things that we do at Avid Miner is really share with people what's available when you can create a buy in with your powerful storytelling.
Hmm.
Essentially, each idea begins with it's just a drop. And then when you can translate that into something which people say, hey, listen, I'm in. I want to join you in this journey.
Hmm.
That's when things get connected. So for me, speaking into disbelief is that ability that a leader has where she creates futures which people never imagined could exist.
What is it that you, as an actor, brought into your entrepreneurship that we who are not practiced into that form may just be missing out?
I've no clue about that. You guys are expert entrepreneurs. I'm an outsider. This is my first time entrepreneurship. But one thing which I learn a lot from people like you because I love the focus and the razor sharp focus that you have about getting things done. That really inspires me. The other thing that what I also wanted to mention a little while back is that imagine if entrepreneurs themselves are open to new possibilities of entrepreneurship. For example, I mean, what you're doing at Match My Talent, probably it's not exactly the typical kind of entrepreneurship that people could imagine.
Yeah.
But could there be? Could it be possible? Now, that's the ability for an actor. For an actor, each new role is the breaking down of the cast that you created for your last one. So
Hmm.
you create a cast, you create a mold, you become that role, and then you break that mold and come into the next one. For that, a critical thing that is required is an actor has to get used to being laughed at, be jeered. That's why being a stand-up comedian really helps. Because when you're there, people can throw anything at you. And
And
your ability to persist in spite of what people may or do say to you. That's what creates somebody who can truly stand and create a reality which nobody believes in. So you'll not be put off just by somebody laughing at you or saying, really? Or somebody even ignoring you. That ability for you to say, hey, hello, want to
hmm.
have a look at this? And that's something which is, as an actor, when you're okay to be judged, when you're okay to be judged. So for example, when I forayed into this entire world of interacting with in conversations and with workshops for corporates, I had no clue, I had no background of this, I had no
Hmm.
training in this. But what I really shared with people is my interest in people creating possibilities. People
Hmm.
creating possibilities and creating victories for themselves is something which I'm passionate about. So I don't talk corporate language. What I share is our what we call our victory conversations, in which people across levels, if they can create a victory not just for themselves but for others,
Yeah.
imagine what is possible. And this for me is also what entrepreneurship is about, is creating victories by creating avenues for people to explore and create even better experiences in their businesses, in their personal lives, and across the world. Reach out and create new value for so many people.
Absolutely, and this is very similar also to what a particular role in, let's say, a theater or a film does. Is
Yeah.
like we all start wearing that role into our lives, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that is why people are inspirational, because it's not just that that role is something that you start living with. You start getting inspired with. I want to be like this. I want to be this person, and that's
And
what.
Sonia, to live within and then be ready to shed it also.
Ha.
The
That.
point is to be the person in movement.
Hmm.
Know that everything is under construction. It's a process. So at the zenith, and I when he was talking about where Microsoft is today with
Hmm.
Satya at the head, imagine it is in movement. That's why he's brought about certain changes so that it's reached even higher profitability, and it is in movement.
Yeah.
So how will it be if each one of us can actually consciously ad- adopt this ongoing stuff, being a present continuous in whatever that we are doing? For me, that is at the core of life itself. And entrepreneurship and big business are all about continuous throbbing and movement. And smaller that we are, the more visible it will be. But
It
the
will.
larger that you are and your ability to keep it throbbing within, that's what will keep it alive and the blood flowing all over.
And the stakes are different at different levels, so it is
Absolutely.
leadership that drives that throbbing, but we
Yes,
have.
and stakes are different, but we need the flow of blood. We need oxygenated organizations.
Beautiful. So what is, like, for a community like ours, like NASSCOM, with thousands of stalwarts and people with big dreams, what is it that Avid Miner can bring forth in the near future, maybe?
So, Sonia, that's our work. See, in this entire world where we are talking, especially at this period, when we are talking a whole lot, the buzzword is digital transformation. What happens to the human being? What
Hmm.
happens to the human being who's invested in the digital transformation of the organization? And
Right.
we are doing something which is what we are called nurturing people. It's
Mhm.
about the ability of each one of us to stay connected to that extraordinariness that we as human beings bring to the day. And when people across level can find resonance that my life matters, my day matters, that whatever is my expertise, when I bring it to my day, I am impacting human beings.
Hmm.
When we can bring in that passion, then people will not feel that they are being used to be thrown away. So for us, this is a very critical time when organizations need to connect with the human stock that they have with them, to really look at it as beyond the capital, but really relate to it as that throbbing human beingness. And
Hmm.
that's the work that we do at Avid Miner, really allowing people to see that you can grow. And another very important part of it, which is again very close to the entrepreneurial spirit, is the ability for me, each one of us, if you relate to yourself as a me,
Hmm.
my ability and my willingness to continually learn, to continually grow, to
Yeah.
continually be ready to shed what was previously a greatness that I had.
Hmm. Yeah.
That ability for us to keep moving, keep flowing, keep shedding is what our work is about. Where you're not feeling deprived if you say that I lost that.
Hmm.
I didn't lose it, I gained that. So it's a alteration of perception where people see this tomorrow as a gain that I have made, not not a day spent,
Yeah.
but a day invested in.
That's powerful. That's, I think, that we all, small or bigger entrepreneurs, we're constantly, like, in this conversation about not being significant about anything, really, because it's all in the passing, it's all in the flow. So, I mean, most people hold on to, like, we hold on to our dreams, and we hold on to mujhe ye change lana hai, mujhe ye impact lana hai. But yeah, being in the flow, absolutely. So, I mean, I would want to just continue chatting with you, but of course we have a time thing. But I really want to ask you that, what does, like, as an artist, or as a human being, that we are in fast actions, and there comes a time when there's a pause. How do you deal with the pauses in your life?
Well, if you are a product conclave, you're going to be dealing with a lot of pauses. There are going to be a lot of, yeah, let's face it, those
Yeah.
meetings that we're having and the deal's done, and then Where's the email? Okay, that first email's come. When's the next email?
Yeah.
So one of the things that you learn as an actor, I started off my career with a film which never got made. I came to Bombay for a film called Kutte Ki Maut, which never got made. So I began my career with a shattered dream. So a powerful thing which has been available to me, my friend, is that what are you doing while you are waiting? Because that's what makes your life. Life is happening in the interregnum. And if we can see value in the interregnum between this happening and this happening, that's
Mm,
where the actual value has been created. So, therefore, you don't wait for that deal to fall, that deal to happen, that deal to close for you to be feeling great.
mm,
Remember, what you do with that pause is going to add value to your life. So I really love my work. And as an actor, actors' work isn't waiting for the next interesting one and then preparing for it.
mm.
And as I go through my life, I have started seeing value in the wait. And therefore, I'm grateful for the pause. So just wanted to share that with you.
Beautiful again. That's something that I take back. The pauses. Like I was just thinking that at the product conclave, everybody is like so pepped up, have been working on it for months and months. Entrepreneurs are showing all everything that they've created, and it's eventually going to bring a pause on the 14th morning, 14th January. Like the whole roller coaster is going to come. And yes, I mean, I often find it difficult to then wonder, okay, what am I doing this morning now? Suddenly, like as if kuch kaam hi nahi bacha mere paas mein. So I would take that back. That is the moment when we build ourselves, and that is the time. Very, very important. Ashish, can't thank you enough. Really can't thank you enough. But thank you for agreeing to join us at such a short notice and sharing so much of your work and your. I know you've just packed it up so much of wealth of knowledge to us in just like quick 20 minutes, and you've spent years doing that. So, on behalf of everybody at the NASSCOM community, really want to thank you heartfully to join us. And we will keep connecting with you, an avid miner, and would soak into all the knowledge that you all are creating there.
Anyone of you wants to get in touch with us, please hop on to www.avidminer.com. Cheers. See
That's
you again, people. Thank you so much, Sonia. Appreciate it.